In Hollywood, a little bit of self-confidence goes a long way, and a lot of it goes even further. An overly robust ego is practically a job requirement in the wayward world of showbiz, and the industry is crawling with stars who could benefit from a generous slice of humble pie, or two, or maybe even the whole pie. Many Hollywood stars possess levels of arrogance that border on the pathological, and examples are never too hard to come by. So without further ado, here are our nominations for Hollywood's most arrogant celebrities. It is humbling, no? Gwyneth Paltrow. In 2004, Gwyneth Paltrow earned a side-eye from basically the whole world when she went on record with Vanity Fair as saying, "I'm really f***ing good at my job, and people who are interesting and good know that, and that's all that matters." The Shakespeare in Love actress definitely didn't stop there. She's notorious for spouting out hysterically haughty quotes. Some of her greatest hits include, "Sometimes Harvey Weinstein will let me use the Miramax jet if I'm opening a supermarket for him," or telling LUK, "I am who I am. I can't pretend to be somebody who makes $25,000 a year," or telling Jonathan Ross, "I'd rather smoke crack than eat cheese from a tin." Her excessive ego tripping hasn't gone unnoticed by anyone, earning her top honors in a 2013 Most Hated Celebrity list published in Star magazine. Asked why she thought she'd won this dubious distinction, Paltrow told BBC World News,
"There's a perception that I grew up very wealthy and that I was sort of raised with a silver spoon in my mouth."
It didn't make her more modest, and in 2014, she didn't win any hearts when she suggested Hollywood actress moms have it harder than most working moms. She told E! News, "I think to have a regular job and be a mom is not as difficult. Of course there are challenges, but it's not like being on set. It's rough being Gwyneth." Faye Dunaway. If almost everyone she's ever worked with is to be believed, actress Faye Dunaway is an absolute nightmare on and off set. She reportedly channels the spirit of her most famous role a lot, and as a real-life version of Bonnie and Clyde's Bonnie Parker, she's known to berate service industry employees on the regular, allegedly believing she's entitled to special treatment as a matter of principle. In fact, an anonymous airline stewardess told the New York Post Dunaway made a scene at JFK Airport when she was refused an upgrade, saying, "She was screaming at everyone and saying, 'Don't you know who I am?'" While filming Chinatown, the actress once reportedly threw a cup of urine on director Roman Polanski because he wouldn't let her use the restroom. Is it true? No one knows, because asking about it brought about the fiery end of Zan Brooks' interview for The Guardian. Dunaway's response was, "I'm a lady and you are completely insulting." Polanski, for his part, went on record as saying she, quote, "demonstrated certifiable proof of insanity." Insiders say Dunaway was nothing short of demonic on the set of Mommy Dearest, that her erratic behavior caused movie staffers to quit, and there's a list of topics that shouldn't be mentioned in her presence.
This closet when I told you no wire hangers ever!
Sounds like Dunaway hasn't exactly mellowed over the years either, regularly making headlines for continuing her tirade against photographers, journalists, and anyone else who she perceives as disrespecting her or merely existing. Miles Teller. There are many ways to earn the internet's wrath, but actor Miles Teller found a particularly special one. While being interviewed for Esquire in 2015 at Atlanta's Luminary restaurant, the Fantastic Four actor told journalist Anna Peel that the highball glass was modeled after his manly business. Then he allegedly tried the same material on the waitress. "It's just one unsettling morsel in a feature full of them." At one point, she quotes Teller as saying, "I was thinking about how I probably think I'm better looking than the public thinks I am." Beyond that infamous Esquire feature, which Teller claimed was very misrepresenting, the actor has demonstrated a robust sense of self-worth on plenty of other occasions. In addition to sending angry texts to the powers that be when they pass him over for starring roles, he's also fond of trash-talking his own films. He told W in 2014 that he complained to his agent Divergent sucks and left him feeling dead inside, then offered the disclaimer that he only starred in the film for business reasons. Meanwhile, while discussing his industry peers, he told the New York Times in 2014, "I feel like a lot of actors of my generation are not proper actors." A bold statement for sure, but not even as bold as his comments about his heroism.
This is unbelievable. How did you?
I thought that's why you had me on here. The movie aside, like I thought we were honoring heroes this week. Yeah.
Catherine Zeta-Jones. A certain Ocean's 12 star is fed up, and you should know that Catherine Zeta-Jones won't let you shame her for being both filthy rich and distractingly beautiful. She made that clear to the Mirror readers in June 2018. Should you ever be inclined to scorn her for marrying Michael Douglas and living the high life, she's simply not going to take it. One thing, I'm not as humble anymore. I'm sick of being humble, I really am. So sorry I'm rich, so sorry I'm married to a movie star, so sorry I'm not so bad looking. No sorries, enough. Zeta-Jones regularly sings her own praises and brags about her wealth, once boasting, quote, $1 million isn't a lot of money for people like us. Well then, she's also super proud of the fact that she collects high-end treasures like some people collect baseball cards. Once quoted as saying, "Some people collect art or lots of money, we collect houses because if we have to look at something, we prefer the view." Still, life is not without its challenges. She shared a story with the Daily Mail in 2008 about the difficulties of multiple mansion ownership, saying, "The worst thing about having all these houses is that when I have an outfit and I think it's going to look great with a certain pair of shoes, I remember they're in some place I'm not. So that's why I have to buy duplicates." James Cameron. If you ever bump into director James Cameron at an airport, you may want to duck. In 2009, he was caught telling a fan to shove off, but those who know him say he's an equal opportunity hater, with scorn that isn't reserved just for the fans. Actor Josh Brolin claims a hot-headed director lashed out at him when he turned down a role in Avatar, telling Esquire, "James Cameron's f***ing calling me this name and that name, whatever." After selling scripts for Aliens, Rambo, and Terminator within a matter of months, Cameron allegedly proclaimed he was extraordinarily proud he hadn't paid for his own lunch in weeks. And in case you're wondering, he's also been quoted as saying he didn't even bother reading scripts that he didn't write himself. Then there's his reaction to winning the Best Director Academy Award for Titanic in 1998.
"I'm the king of the world!"
His ego was still a thing of wonderment in 2010. After snagging a Best Drama Golden Globe for Avatar, he told a room full of Hollywood bigwigs to applaud themselves for having the best job in the world. And finally, let's meditate on that notorious press junket interview for Avatar's DVD release, when Cameron suggested he wanted to save us all from ourselves, saying, "At this point, I'm less interested in making money for the movie and more interested in saving the world that my children are going to inhabit." Shannen Doherty. According to former Beverly Hills 90210 heartthrob Jason Priestley, on-screen sister Shannen Doherty could be a shambling nightmare while making the series. In his 2014 book, Jason Priestley, a memoir, the actor claimed Doherty's arrogance became very obvious very quickly, thanks to a 1990 trip to New York City organized last minute by Fox. She apparently had issues with the automobile that took her to the airport, asking a publicist, "Really? A town car? You send a town car to take me to the airport, not a limo?" Priestley claims Doherty spent the trip complaining about the short notice on the food on board and the temperature in the cabin and everything else. Doherty has denied at least the limo part, later saying she doesn't even like limos. Not really. Priestley wasn't the only one talking about Doherty's insufferable divadom. According to her book, Deep Thoughts from a Hollywood Blonde, co-star Jenny Garth got along with Doherty, quote, like gasoline and a match. At one point, she was allegedly so fed up with Doherty's bad attitude that the two almost came to blows. But Doherty tends to chalk it all up to completely normal female interactions.
I think if you stick 3 girls on a show together, 3 girls who are all attractive, I think that there tends to be a little bit of drama, you know.
If the rumors are true, Doherty's self-entitlement might have ultimately gotten her kicked off the show. Producer and writer Larry Mollin told Entertainment Weekly that Doherty didn't ask permission before getting a haircut, so her brand new do wound up destroying the continuity of the season 4 finale. Katherine Heigl. If actress Katherine Heigl can brag about anything, it's a knack for drumming up boatloads of bad press. A casual Google stalk draws up pages of articles dedicated solely to expressing hatred for the actress, who's often accused of creating difficulties for her co-workers. After working with the actress on Grey's Anatomy, Shonda Rhimes now uses Heigl as shorthand for troublesome talent, telling The Hollywood Reporter, "There are no Heigls in this situation. I don't put up with bullshit or nasty people. I don't have time for it." Heigl's bad reputation stems largely from her decision to decline a second Emmy nomination for Grey's Anatomy in 2008. As she said in a public statement, "I did not feel I was given the material this season to warrant an Emmy nomination, and in an effort to maintain the integrity of the Academy organization, I withdrew my name from contention." Page 6 reports Heigl will occasionally disparage her own films, saying of Knocked Up, quote, "It was hard for me to love the movie." Her comments were so hurtful, they prompted an official response from co-star Seth Rogen, who said he didn't hold anything against her in spite of feeling betrayed by her words. In 2010, she acknowledged that she may have something of an image problem, but she wasn't about to apologize for it, telling Meredith Vieira,
I am a strong woman, and I'm not going to apologize for that, and I'm not going to on behalf of my daughters.
Kanye West. Dissecting Kanye West's arrogance could swallow your afternoon whole, especially considering many publications have devoted entire features to the cataloging of his ego alone. After all, this is a man who was once photographed for Rolling Stone dressed in a crown of thorns and decorated with buckets of stage blood. If that doesn't say ego, nothing does. No one can forget West drunkenly interrupting Taylor Swift at the Video Music Awards during her acceptance speech for Best Female Video. But we also shouldn't forget the time he threw a temper tantrum after a music critic gave his tour a B+, the time he showed off his wife by posting nude pics of her on social media. And yet, there's some hope for us all. In June 2018, West took to Twitter to announce that he'd killed his ego. In another tweet, he revealed, "I thought my ego protected me from doubters. Well, as fate would have it, plenty of people are somehow doubting there's any credence whatsoever to these claims."